I had three girls. I lost one. I'm saying, to a tragic, situation. 2021. She was murdered. My 18-year-old daughter.
Top of the morning, it's your boy Monzy, Baby Mons Logan, and this is Survival with the Fittest podcast. I got my brother over here, my guest host, the ambassador of the streets, Minister Thunder. What's going on, brother?
Yeah. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Is Minister RN Thunder.
Okay.
Yes, I am a registered nurse now.
Don't forget the RN, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, with those initials, people listen to you a little bit different. Not just, that's just a smart nigga. No, that's a smart licensed nigga. It's a smart registered nigga.
Before we forget, man, I got my brothers behind the camera, producer S.A., man. How your world been treating you?
It's going good, brother. What's happening, people?
Hey, what's going on, S.A.? He's in the healthcare field as well, isn't he?
That's right. I don't want nobody knowing my profession, though.
Okay. He's a professional leg lifter.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Here
we go. I don't need nobody to be trying to spread those rumors either.
Yeah. This guy's amazing.
Oh, he is, man, Man, so, man, you got some topics for us today, man. What's on your mind, brother?
I do. We're gonna jump right into it. Since my man Thunder was talking about all of the initiatives he's trying to develop, we're gonna go right into it. So one of the first topics I got is, can you reinvent yourself after you reach a certain age? When you're grown and you've been running the streets and doing whatever it is you've been doing, and now you see life is a little bit more than that. Can you flip the switch and make a change? Like you said, you just became an RN. So in my mind, you kind of reinvented yourself.
Yeah. Well, I reinvented myself. It was a few things what caused me to reinvent myself, and one of them is hunger and starvation and being broke. Because at 50 years old, $70,000 ain't shit but $20,000 to a grown man with family and kids and things of that nature. I think get broken down. So and living in Chicago, and you're dealing with gentrification. I'm staying in the Bronzeville Hyde Park area. Everything is going up except your salary. So at some point, I had to make that transition either by force or by choice. So as we can see in the economical range of everything, you'll either be forced or you'll sink and drown in this economy now.
No doubt about it, because inflation is steady going up. Cost of living.
Yeah.
Miles, what's your thoughts?
I mean, you can't. Yes, you can. I'm gonna say that just first and foremost. Age doesn't have anything to do with mentality. And if you can shift your mentality from one that led you to the point where you feel comfort, for lack of a better term, it's easy, and that you're seeking to challenge yourself or reach new heights. You can reinvent yourself, but the first thing you got to work on is your mind.
Because you always hear, well, I'm at a certain age, I'm stuck in my ways.
Right.
If you're stuck in your ways and you at a certain age, you're like, well, to me, you don't have the will and the desire to change. Because you could change if you really wanted to.
Absolutely. You're comfortable. And that discomfort of not knowing what tomorrow will bring you or the next moment will bring you, is the thing that kind of keep a lot of us stuck, in certain spaces and where you're the most comfortable. You think about the guy who's the star athlete in high school, and he's talking about that touchdown pass he caught in 1970 something. What does that have to do with today?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like what you could do for me now.
Exactly.
And just to piggyback on that, I think change is good. It's the only thing what's constant, and some people make the change for worse, because some of my friends, they went from being those athletes to being that crackhead now and doing that type of thing. So they reinvented themselves too. This is such thing
I guess it can be flipped out the way if you think about it.
Always a positive reinvention.
No.
One of them actually went completely drag now. So he went from the start football.
Can you come back from that? After you done had money, you done lost it and then reached the bottom. Can you come back and get it back where you was before?
Oh, well, yeah, I thought you was asking, can you come back from being a transsexual to
No, I wasn't asking nothing.
well, that's the
Where the hell that come
from? Well, shit, hell yeah, you can go broke and get rich, and go broke and get rich. You know, it's all a balancing act. You know, because rich is a state of mind. You know, because as far as financially rich, you know, that's all the individual mindset is like financial not a reason. I talked about financially is because shit, my mortgage and my rent is rent and car note is high. But as far as mindset, I really don't need those things to feel wealthy, you know. But I like those things to get women.
Okay, so since we on that topic and we was talking about the star athletes, have you been hearing anything about the NBA players and the tricking they've been doing? Like Zion Williamson, he supposedly got. I don't know if she's a porn star. He was dating a porn star, and he got a side piece pregnant.
Yeah.
So and he been paying her monthly, and then you got Paul Pierce, the other, he retired Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He got dates that he getting online. So is tricking becoming the norm? Maz, is tricking becoming the norm?
Hey, man, look.
You had to sit up for that one?
I definitely did, man. I guess in this state of false masculinity, yes. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's all you had to offer, it's no different from just a aesthetically beautiful woman. If that's all you had to offer, you're poor. You don't have anything to offer me. Well, So on the flip side with these brothers, if you got to spend, the grin, then you don't have nothing else to offer.
I disagree on that. I disagree. If it ain't tricking if you got it.
Man,
you know what I'm saying, and hey, that's my opinion.
Okay, explain it.
No, I mean I get that. What my thing is it's the way that brothers go about it, man. You're buying $30,000 purses, you're buying $200,000 cars,
flying them out,
right? Right, doing all of that.
Like
Hold on. But there's probably people in your family that's struggling.
Not your business.
You know what I'm saying? Hey. Well, what? It's to each his own, man. It ain't. I don't agree with it. I think that they're trying to make that the norm. They made that the norm. BMF, Big Meat. Shout out to them people. Them brothers. Tricking. No, I'm saying that level of mainstream tricking, they made that a thing in the early 2000s, and now that's what they planted into these youngsters. These brothers are what 20, 21, 22 24. Years old. These are young brothers.
I gotta disagree.
Well, yeah, but see,
I had to disagree.
Man, what you got?
I had to disagree. This been going on before that because my grandfather was 27 and my grandma was 15.
Right.
So, and the only reason they allowed this.
Wait a minute, what you say?
Oh yeah, they from Mississippi, and the only reason they allowed this is because he had financial gain. He had a financial structure. He married her at 15 years old, and he had 20 kids by her. So it definitely was tricking, and people, they'll call it what they want, but he went out and got exactly what he wanted and molded that. And this is a culture thing on a worldwide spectrum.
But hold on. I understand that. What that man did is he picked a wife. He started a family. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about these young brothers going out here to these strip clubs, throwing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on random chicks, taking this chick home, flying her to the next 4-5 cities, at $30,000 away if they doing private, you know what I'm saying, or first class at least. You're spending all of this money on relationships that won't go anywhere. This person is showing you who they are, their potential.
And as I can see, I disagree again because I done been in situations or I've seen situations where you married to someone for 4 or 5 years and they take every fucking penny you ever had.
I understand that.
And so we have seen a young generation get married who are financially both of them financially, or the one of them financially, and you done seen whether that man or a woman take every damn thing they got. We've seen in the older crowd with Mary J. Blige and her husband. Mary J. Blige's husband try to hit her for everything she had.
So you saying your point is it don't matter
No.
if you tricking and you spending the money, or if you married and you get divorced and somebody take half the money.
At least I have. Let's go to the real point. Instant gratification. And that's what it goes to. It goes to instant gratification. If I see that and I want that and whatever it costs is I can afford that.
Right.
Give me my instant gratification now. This is the popcorn generation.
So if you a young athlete,
yes,
you just got $150 million contract.
I want that car.
Right. And
I want that woman.
see the porn star and you like,
I want that what she did, that
and
thing she did.
Dropping $100,000 in her pocket ain't
that's
nothing.
Nothing because I got millions. It's a nickel, it's a quarter, it's a dime.
But how long can you sustain that type of lifestyle?
Don't matter. We could get to that point when we get to it. Instant gratification is the norm.
What about getting her pregnant?
Getting her pregnant? We all got somebody pregnant that we didn't want to get pregnant. I got 3 kids.
But now it's a whole different ballgame because now you really got to pay. Ain't no getting out of that.
Listen, one thing about this thing we call life, you ain't taking nothing with you but memories. I'd rather say I did that than I thought about it. So this is the popcorn generation. Instant popcorn. I want my popcorn in 3 minutes. I don't want you on my stove putting butter and grease and shaking that damn pan. Instant.
Well,
any final thoughts?
I mean, just think about. I get that, man. Live in the moment, right? Have a good time.
If you got the money, $200 million contract.
Yeah, but also think about, man, I want to live like this forever. You got to start thinking about that. So then when you say that, and that's even just when you don't even got money. I enjoy being able to walk on 2 limbs and do all of that or whatever. So that means that if I enjoy this and I want to sustain this way of living for a while, I mean, it's some things that I got to change, and it's the same thing when it comes to these young brothers with all of this money.
They don't see that.
I mean, you're not going to see it. We didn't see it when we were young. However, it should be a conversation out there to at least pose or plant the seed to say, this is, maybe it's something to this. Maybe I should try to figure out how long could I really live off my money.
I can't tell you at 20 years old, I gave a damn about tomorrow. As what that girl Gorilla say and Cardi B, we ain't talking about that shit. We ain't talking about tomorrow. We talking about today, and
yeah, at that age, you probably ain't thinking that far down the line, even though you probably should, or you should have some people around you who are able to guide you in that way. But we're gonna transition. Now we got Dwayne Wade and Gabriella Union saying that their marriage is 50-50. Now we're gonna discuss it in these terms. Now he got on Dwayne Wade. He got on Club Shay Shay and say it's a 50-50 marriage, but not in that way that people think. She's just not paying half for everything.
Right.
But she came on and said, she said in the interview that he said one day that this was his house, and she didn't ever want to hear that again.
Right.
So she was gonna put up her money to make sure that it was sort of comparable. It was a 50-50 thing.
Right.
Give me some thoughts, man.
Well, again, man, to each his own. But I get that. If you're building something with somebody, you don't want them to take ownership of that thing that you guys are building together. Now I don't know the stipulations behind this is my house. Whether he moved her in that house.
I'm not sure what the details is, but I guess he might have said it in conversation and it just what didn't sit right with her.
Right.
She's like, damn, Nat, I got my own money. This is gonna be our house.
Yeah.
Here go my half.
Yeah. I mean, again,
a lot of people didn't like that.
Gotta. But see, these are things like this happened and they're married and they dated prior to being married, right? You got to know this is what you're getting yourself into. Like, you can't look at a person and say, oh, they have potential and try to marry their potential. You got to marry they now because they may never reach that potential. And so I don't know Gabrielle Union, personally.
I met her before and I kind of understand her. I didn't did a few things with them, not threesomes and stuff, but I would have, if I wasn't their type. Yeah, but anyway, but and I do understand her philosophy on it, especially if she's scrapping him,
Yeah. I don't know nothing about that.
I didn't mean to say that.
We ain't gonna get on into the Hollywood smut.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is she the man of the house. Because if you notice how things go, because most women is submissive. Gabrielle Union have no submissiveness in her body at all.
You don't think so?
Dwayne Wade the roles and genders is traded. So most women is not gonna say, "This is my house. We gotta go here." That's a masculine.
Yeah, that's what he told
move.
her.
Yeah, but I know that's what he told her, and she said, "No, you're not. This is how this is gonna go."
Right.
The masculine energy took over, and he can't not face anything masculine of being a leader. He is not the leader of his home.
She do give off those masculine.
Yeah,
vibes.
and so that was the point that I was wrapping into, is that, like, I don't know her personally, but just as I perceive her through the roles that she played in
it's the
interviews
roles
and things like that.
that give you a little bit of that
she
too.
has some aggression. She's
What was the movie with LL Cool J she was in? And he couldn't
Deliver for Eva. I'm like, yeah, she's probably really
More
that
like
person,
that.
or a damn good actress,
No, she's that person.
Yeah, I mean, and I can see that, but again, maybe that's the type of woman he need or he desire.
Could be.
You know what I'm saying?
And
so that's why
a lot of us we do. Some of us do need that leadership woman, because that's not. We good at certain things,
right?
But sometimes that woman is better.
Absolutely.
And we get caught up in that gender situation. I'm the man, and I'm the man, and that, what is that? What does that mean? That's the question. What does that mean? I'm the man. This is a new world.
You protecting. What it is, you protect, provide.
Right.
So I guess that's part of it.
She could do that as well for you. Even the woman lion gets up under your chin, to protect your throat.
But see, the women protection isn't just physical protection. It's mental. Can I really be gentle and vulnerable, or are you forcing me to present this masculine energy? You get what I'm saying?
I totally disagree. I
She ain't
have to speak from
mentally.
a woman. I'm not a woman, but I am around feminine energy, and they are, when it comes to the hunters, they are the true hunters. You know what I mean? And we have to put our ego to the side sometime, and we have to really look at things and accept what society is, not just accept the society role that they give us, that we are the man, we wear the pants, we are the leaders.
So you say that means nothing?
That means nothing in this new society of women. With time have developed them into a strongest creature in a sense.
I mean, absolutely. But here's the thing, that doesn't mean that a woman doesn't want to be a woman. It's just that, again, you're saying the switching of the turning of the gender roles that we're facing in society has feminized the men to push women to be more in a masculinity energy. Hold on. And it's nothing wrong with a woman, being independent, having a sense of self outside of just who she's attached to as a spouse. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Allow her that, because women are strong. You got to remember, we all got here through a woman, right? You know what I'm saying? However, a woman still, no matter how independent she is, she still wants a man to be a man. And that's the only issue that we're facing right now, especially when it comes in our culture, is that we're not being the man.
I have to disagree again. Because you got to understand, this is a preset culture that we are in. This is what I mean by preset. This is something what was already handed down to us the way things supposed to be. Who actually said that this is right? This is a new culture America is.
It was in the Bible.
The Bible?
Nah.
Well, if you're going to get
That's
into
where everybody
religion,
blame it. It was in the Bible.
Yeah, well, you got to understand, a lot of Bible was removed. That's a whole different subject.
That's a whole different subject.
But so I'm going with, since you mentioned the Bible, since you, I am a street minister. Since you mentioned the Bible, just to piggyback on that, it's a lot of things what was written to discredit women and to keep women in an aspect of not being human, in a sense, of being just a piece of nothing. And that right there, I never agreed to, because in my mind, my moral compass tell me, first there's God, then there's mother, not father. And that's a moral compass. The first person you're gonna protect is your mom. The first person you gotta say, when I get my money, I gotta buy a house for my mom. I never heard anyone pushing for that aspect to say, I'm gonna do that for my dad, because that natural carrying that mother had, caring for you or taking care of you, or that motherly love
That
is
nurturing.
the thing that nurturing.
Right.
Even if it wasn't your biological mother, the first one that you ever grabbed as a man was that a female,
Right.
to say, hey, I gotta hold you, I gotta take care of you, I gotta protect you. That was my first protector.
Right.
My father was my first, let me put you in order. But
he should have been the first provider in the disciplinary.
yeah, but actually your mother is their first protector.
No, absolutely. I mean, because she carry you with her, you know, for 9 months.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But even in this, have you ever heard your mother or any mother say, God, I got this, I don't need you?
God, I got this, I don't need you.
Right.
You gotta break that down to
Okay,
me.
I'm saying that to say this. No matter how women understand, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm this, I bring life into this world, they still realize and know that I still have to be obedient to the thing that makes this all possible for me. You know, so me saying that is that submissive femininity that still exists in the most independent woman. If she's right within spirit, hold on, she's there. So just going back into what we our last subject, or the subject that we're closing in on, is that a woman still wants to be a woman no matter how independent she is. She's just hold on. They just ain't met they match. They keep meeting incompatible guys who's allowing them to push further and further towards there.
I tell you what, this is a hell of a subject that we can't really, we bias because we're not women.
Absolutely.
We have to have a woman to give her part, because we try to speak and try to, you know, we try to speak for a woman, and that shit just don't sound right, because I don't know. I'm assuming. I'm just saying, what's the new thing now? Hey, whatever I say I am, that's who I am. You gotta respect that, and that's not fucking true. You're not a, what you say. You want to be acknowledged as a dog today. So I gotta acknowledge you as a dog today, and we speaking from a woman's standpoint.
Okay, so we're gonna transition there. So we're gonna go with this.
That's deep. Yeah.
We're gonna go with, should you put money over your partner? Should like money over bitches is the term.
Money over bitches.
Is that something that we still doing?
I feel like that's a juvenile perspective. You know, now you're saying partner.
Well, it could be your career.
Right.
You could be in a marriage.
Right.
And your career is first.
Right.
And your wife is second. Or, you know, you could be in a relationship and, you know, you be traveling, you doing other things, and you're not putting as much into your relationship, but more into your money, where you get your money from in your career.
I put it like this. If that's who you're going to be that person before you're married. Date people that understand that that's who you are, and that's going to be a support to that. You know, because when you decide to, you know, come together, it's about you guys growing together. Like, this is where we are, you know, meeting. We come together, okay, we want to do this, right? This is the, you know what I'm saying? This is the goal for most unions. We can't do this. And if you're chasing career over that, then man, that's not something that's going to sustain, you know? So I'm always going to agree, like, man, we have to really get back to dating, courting, speaking your intentions. This is what I want to do. If you want to be a polygamist, is that the word?
That's why I am.
Yeah, if you want to be a polygamist, right?
Now we hitting on,
right?
Now we hitting on because that single, that one-on-one partnership, I don't know what that is.
Right.
So you put money over women.
I'm a poly. I have to put money in a situation because I am poly. You know, I do deal with multiple women in a relationship. You know, and even one of my women was here last time. She could she contests to that. Like, yeah, He take care of all us. We all take care of each other. We all is in a relationship. And a lot of people get that poly thing is mixed up as some all about sex. You know, it's definitely sexual things involved that we like, but it's actually different things that different women bring to the table.
So they all got a different role.
We all got different roles, and we all accept those roles. You know, I'm on my third partner now. I have two very committed partners. I'm on my third one now. So, and that's that. I think that'd be it because all of them get along, you know. But those women have to pick the women for me, you know. They have to pick that type of woman who fits into our curriculum.
I see reality series coming.
Yeah, it's a building.
Minister Thunder and
right.
Flock.
And I tell you, since I went poly, me personally, less stress.
Absolutely. I mean, because
it is very.
You would think
stress.
It would be more stress.
And
more women.
It really is really not when you identify roles and you identify, you know, everybody like, oh, women can get along. Shit, women get along better than anybody.
We should have had all three of them here with us.
Yeah, you know what? That can actually happen.
We're gonna make that happen.
At any given moment, that can actually happen.
I want to talk about this.
Yeah. That can actually happen. They love each other.
Because in my head, I'm seeing aprons and long dresses and shit.
no
pilgrims. I don't know what you.
No, actually, one of them is a DON and one of them is a nurse. And one of them is a DON, one of them is a nurse, and the next one is actually a bartender who's in school to get her practitioner, her nurse practitioner.
Right.
You know, so they're very educated, very smart women. They're not dean bets or just followers. No, they actually
so they
are
understand
leaders.
That in your life it's important that your money and your finances come before them.
Well, like I say, my finances have to really grow because I am that centerpiece. I am that centerpiece that brings everything together because that male, like you said, that male energy sometimes had to be the reason, had to be the voice of reason, you know, and that's what I bring to the table is that logical thinking, you know, because they all get emotional sometimes and I'm able to sit back and listen and deal with that emotion. They're actually able to bond with each other and break down each other's emotions to get things in a better place. Because sometimes she can, you know, this one might be feeling a certain kind of way or whatever, and they can come together because they sisters. It's a sisterhood.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
As long as it worked for you, I ain't got no issue with it.
I mean, again, man, but again, it goes from, you know, it's less stress because you're not trying to be something that you secretly want to be something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You live in who
that's the
you
open
live in,
truth.
you live in, as we
truth.
say, you're true.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like, however a person chooses to live their life, man, if it don't interfere with anything I got going on, I got no worries with it. You know, but again, you know, like, man, you put that forward if that's what you want, you know.
Could you do it?
Man, that's,
you better answer,
I mean,
answer this question very carefully.
You know, I've thought of the idea, you know, but I don't know, man. Like that for me, it just seemed like more headaches, man. You know, you figuring like a whole month of periods unless they all on the same cycle.
They all becomes on the same cycle.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They all come on the same cycle.
They all come on the same cycle.
Why? Because they're around each other. And
mad
they
at me, are they all mad at me? Do they gang
That
up on me?
happen-
You know, now this is what you gotta understand. Like, you know, man, I mean, it ain't many males on, you know, on my side of the family. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, all my first cousins are females. Like all my male cousins, we all like second, third cousins, but we're around the same age. You know, and then I got, you know, my older male cousins or whatever. Man, my family done beat up on me so many times just being the only male, you know what I'm saying, in that situation. You know, it's like, okay, you got to exit out of that. So that's almost like a little bit of trauma, man.
You don't see yourself winning no argument.
Man, I ain't even trying to argue. You know what I'm saying? The older I get, man, and you got to understand, like, I thought I was going to be a lawyer. You know, I love to debate, you know, but, you know, the older I get, man, my peace of mind mean everything to me. You know what I'm saying? And I teach his own, man. It's for everybody, you know, and I lived similar lifestyles like that, you know, in my youth or whatever. And, you know, as I guess, evolve.
Could you imagine doing it at 50 years old?
Man.
That means you have seen a lot, you have done a lot,
Right.
and you have put things in a greater perspective than a lot of others. And these women is not young women. So one of them is, but they are like in their early 40s
Right.
and about
So they
10-year
understand
difference.
life.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they're not just, hey, we all fucking type of situation.
I get it, bro. But some days like I need to get away from myself. We got one of our special guests in the neighborhood today, man. We got our sister Soul in the building. What's going on, sister?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
You get a little louder than that now. So as you heard, we was talking about 50-50 marriages. We're going to go there. So you heard some of the dialect, some of the conversation already. What do you think? You think 50-50 marriages is that possible?
I mean, if you want to make it 50-50, I don't think that's realistic at all. I think there's going to be times where it's 60-40, it's, 30-70. Like, it just depends on what 50-50 financially. No, it's not always going to be 50-50 financially, especially when you got your career going, you're in school, or if you don't have a village to help you raise your child, the parent has to sacrifice. It's going to take time, and sometimes you guys got to work it out.
But is it like a gender role that, well, a woman naturally supposed to fall back and a man supposed to be the leader? Is that, I'm saying, what's your view on that? Because it goes back to the 50-50 thing. What's your view on that? Because I'm thinking like, that's my woman. I'm supposed to take care. The way that we raised, I'm supposed to take care of everything I'm doing. That's the way that women want it now, but they still want to be shaking ass and still clubbing and still doing Instagram and all that, but still want us to take care of them 100%. What's your thoughts on that as a woman? Because I'm lost on that.
I feel like as a woman, you should be able to take care of yourself first. And then, I mean, if you can't take care of yourself, why would you want somebody else to take care of you? Just for myself personally, I don't really have, growing up, I didn't really have a role model. Like I came from a single parent household, so I had to learn a lot growing up on my own. Like nothing was ever taught to me.
That's a mother or a father when you say single parent, because now fathers is becoming more of the single parent now in the 2000s. They are the ones who got in the home. They had statistically saying that a child will actually do better with a single father than it will with a single mother. 85% statistically across the board, not just race, but actually with father. What you think? Do you think a man can raise a child better than a mother?
Yeah, I can. I don't think gender roles are just like compartmentalized. Like you're a guy, so you gotta do it the guy way. You're a female, you gotta do it the female way. Like, I think you guys as a couple should take turns. One person should, one person is tired. The woman can't always cook, clean, and do everything. You guys are together as a team. Like, sometimes, he can take over and cook and clean while she, does another task and take over of the child or does something differently. I don't think it has to be always like, oh, I'm the man. I bring, the money and, that's my job and that's it. You're supposed to do the housework. No.
So you married, right? You married?
Yes, married.
So do your husband, he cook and clean?
Yes, we take turns.
Okay. You take out the garbage?
Yes, I don't want to, but I do.
Yeah.
You change the oil on cars?
No, but I like to learn. I like to learn.
We're going to grill it out on grilling.
We build shit.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you guys should limit yourself. I don't think you should be with somebody that's like, oh, well, I expect my woman to cook, clean, and do this for me.
Because I always wanted to do the garden work.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, go ahead.
Yeah, man.
It's a role for me.
But that's the thing, man. You gotta, like, we live in a world where, your experience is your experience, so what you want, but be intentional about the things you want. Don't waste any valuable time. You want to, be
I don't want to work no more. I want to stay home and cook.
Hey, stay home and cook, but you gotta figure out a money play.
The women don't want to go with my thing.
I have an aunt that's a nurse and a stay-at-home husband, and she got a lot of,
She working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's.
I know ain't no way in the world she only working one.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He takes care of the kids.
What's the backlash she got?
my family shaming her husband for not, he's a pool boy, he doesn't work, and this and that.
I want to be a pool boy. That's my thing. I want to be a pool boy.
But it's just because of the expectation of a man. You know what I mean? And if it works for her, it works for her.
Yeah.
And if it's a problem, like, was it a problem? It's not like you're in her shoes, you're her, you have to deal with it. Why are you passing judgment? At least try to get an understanding before you become very critical of her situation.
Right.
And, sometimes families are toxic and can't be supportive,
Yeah.
So you support a pool boy, huh?
I mean, if that works for her, yes, but that's not going to work for my situation.
So your husband can't.
Well, correct. Let me stand corrected. No, because if I have to work, I would want him to stay home with the kids because we don't have a village. Okay. It's just us two. Okay. So I wouldn't knock him if he stays home while I go work. Right. And, establish myself just in case. So... I mean, it may be temporarily until we can both get in.
I don't want it temporary. I want it to the child 18.
You know damn well you don't want to stay at home. I want to and not work.
He'd be itching, man. Like, I need to get about this house.
Listen, I would like to wash the dishes and fold the clothes and grow the fucking parsley and sit up and say, honey, how was your day? Hey, this 2023.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, man.
Mom, what do you think?
Hey, I mean, again, like, I'm always gonna be in the favor of, like, man, what floats your boat? What works for you? Yeah. Just make sure, like, don't get into anything expecting someone to be somebody that they haven't shown you. They already are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best way to, I guess, to be content with, with what you have. It's to say, like, hey, man, if this person don't change today, I'm cool with that because of all of these other qualities. And I mean, it just, nothing's ever going to be 50-50. Like, who's really sitting there and dividing everything down the line? But what I think...
Well, if it's finances, you can divide that.
I mean, yeah.
Numbers don't lie. You know the bill. Right. Numbers, you got the numbers, you can divide that.
But numbers don't lie.
So when you're doing that, man, I mean that we have to have a... If we're doing 50-50, we have to have a 100% plan.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying? And so that means that you have to get your 50%, whatever that looks like. I had to get my 50%, whatever that looked like, and we're sticking to that, So, but this is the danger of that. And again, it goes down to what stipulations are. If we're breaking down everything 50-50 and my 50%, I still got another 80% over here, you know what I'm saying? And your 50%, maybe you have another 10%,
Hey, so what's the pool boy number? I want to
wait. No. Let's get back to what he talking about.
Right. Now it's, okay, is there a question like how do you guys look at finance? Like, if we're all going to, I'm sorry. If my finances are significantly larger than yours at the end of this 50-50 thing, is it that person's responsibility to provide all of those extra leisures for that person who finances doesn't meet that?
That I never thought about that.
I don't think so. I mean, are we talking about within marriage or just dating or like?
Well, in marriage, I mean, because in relationships, marriage, right? What's that?
Dating lead up to marriage.
It should.
So how can we not talk about it in a dating aspect? Because I'm not going to marry someone if I don't know that you're willing to go to this level with me when I say I do.
Well, I guess the difference is that in dating there is less of an expectation than in marriage. In dating is more so you pay attention to what that person does without you saying. You get what I'm saying? Even though, like, okay, dating is, or matter of fact, this leads right into that. Dating is you guys learning one another. You know what I'm saying? So when you learn each other, you're learning love languages and all of these different things. So it isn't forced upon you to say, hey, I'm taking you out, you got to give me 50%. It's like, hey, I know you like this comedian or this whoever, this artist, I got us tickets. It's no expectation.
Okay, let's paint a picture then. Let's do this. Say you dating and you want to go on vacation.
Right.
You want to go on vacation. So you want to go to Costa Rica, wherever.
Costa Rica, yeah.
So now you're going to take your date. Is you expecting her to kick in, or you going to pay for the whole entire day?
Man, you get yourself there, pay for half of this room. You know, I got you once we hit the ground.
I can't do that.
You know,
I can't do that. Even in dating, you know what I mean? Because
you gonna pay for the whole thing?
I pay for the whole thing.
I feel like there should be moment.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be times where the guy does pay for everything to like show his love and his interest. But then I also think there should be situations where, okay, she pays for herself or she offers to pay.
Right.
For the whole thing.
Right.
You know, like spoil each other. I don't think the expectation should be he should pay for me and while we're dating. Right. I don't think that is a good idea.
What about the same scenario if you was married? Would you be willing to pay half, or you want your husband to pay? He's like, baby, we going to Aruba.
Because it is different standards of marriage and dating.
But I don't think if you're dating, I don't think you should give marriage privileges when you're dating. I think when you're dating, stick within dating.
Right.
When you're married, it's a whole different. Now you get certain privileges because you're married.
Right.
You unlock the cheat code.
You answer the question. Come on. So answer the question.
So for that, no, I mean, right when we go to trips, I help because we have to financially figure out our situation at home. We can't just spend everything and spend our, you know, we have mortgages, we have bills. So it's like when we go to trips, he'll pay for most of it because he's in the financial position to do so more than me at this point. But I also am able to help out with like meals or whatever activities. Like we take turns. I don't just expect him to do everything. Right. And you know, it's good if he can sometimes, but that's not how I am.
We're gonna have our trip ain't gonna be the same if I gotta pay for everything. Like, some of them excursions gonna get canceled.
This is walking the park finna be an excursion.
We ain't riding on a horse today.
We sightseeing today, baby.
Going to the beach.
Going to the beach. All exclusive.
Right.
That's it.
You know.
When the hotel say all exclusive, it's over.
Okay, Thun, we got something for you. Now, since we on this topic, can you be cool with your ex? If you was in a relationship 4-5 years.
No.
And you broke up, you say no.
No, unless you're...
She jumped in right away.
No, unless you're co-parenting, if you have a child from previous... Yeah, but if you're just you're married or you're just being friends with an ex for what? What's the purpose of it? Like, explain to me why you have to, you know, what is it? Can you be
cool with it? It's just the same thing. Can you?
What's the purpose? Like, why do you want to be cool with your ex for?
I mean, you guys were friends.
Yeah, y'all got years of history. It's not sexual or anything.
It's nothing like that. Like I have an ex that I'm cool with, you know, and we were broke up, you know, apart for at least 5 years prior to, you know, my current relationship, you know, and that was a deal breaker for me. I'm like, if you don't accept my friend, then you don't accept me, which it was no secret. It was, you know, nothing there. And of course, you know, once I got in that relationship, things that like we may have did, like we may have like went to a show or just hung out or whatever together. You know, it's nothing sexual, anything going on. Once I got into a relationship, once she got into a relationship, you know, those things ceased. But we, you know, we still will share like maybe funny memes or just things, you know, we understand an aspect of one another, you know, so, but we also were friends prior to getting into a relationship. So it isn't like a friend where it's just like, yeah, we were cool. We used to hang out and then do what we do as adults, you know, or whatever from time to time or whatever. Like we, you know, we were genuine friends.
Probably a lot of factors that go into that though.
No, it absolutely does. Right.
What's your thoughts on that, so? Because
I think you got to be careful. I think when you've opened up yourself vulnerably to somebody and they know parts of you that the next person you want to be with are starting to know.
Right.
I feel like you're putting yourself in the line of fire. When you've given yourself to somebody exclusively like your ex, and you're trying to have a new relationship with somebody new, you shouldn't give yourself access to anybody from your past like that. You should protect your relationship. Them off completely? I don't say cut off. I feel like whoever you decide to give your all to, you know, for example, I'm married. If I want to have a friend of the opposite sex, you become our friend,
Right.
not just my friend.
But so I agree with that. You know, what if that is the person that you're with, they're as comfortable as they can be in that situation, but they don't want that aspect, or they're not ready for that?
I feel like who comes first, your ex or the person you want to spend your life with? The person that I want to spend my life with, how he feels, his comfortability, what he thinks comes first. Because if it was the other way around, if I'm trying to be cool with a guy, it's a double standard, because men have different ulterior motives. They find you attractive.
Right.
But if it's a female, it's like, oh no, it's just platonic, it's innocent. But that's not, some females are not wired that way. Some females use their emotional intelligence against you, or a little bit more manipulative. We can tap into being cool with you, and the next moment like want to have something with you.
So you admit
You
that
see what I'm saying?
that women are a little bit more manipulative than men.
Women
That's
are,
all I heard about all of that right there.
I mean, men and women, but women, because we are more emotional beings, we use that to our advantage.
Yeah, that's deep. I never thought about it from that angle. I'm glad you did. Me personally, I could be friends with my ex because we like the same thing. She's, I'm helping her pick out her wedding dress for her wife now, So she's finna get married, she found the woman that she loved.
Right.
And we've been friends. I've been divorced for 10 years now.
Y'all was friends before y'all even got married, right?
Yeah, did you guys come to my wedding?
Nah.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Was that it?
I feel like that's different. That's different because she's with a woman, right? So I feel like when you are attracted to the same sex and you were once before attracted to the opposite sex, there's like, I'm not gonna see you the same way.
And I don't see it the same way either.
However, I know women who are attracted or have been in, in relationships with women who's gravitated back to males. So now it's like...
Right, so you want to dig a little bit to that. And why is it different?
I feel like it's different because I feel like women, their emotions are not set up like men. Men feel a little bit more when they love somebody. They love somebody. It's not like they can't. Well, I don't love you right now. For men, it's not really okay. I was just infatuated. But when I'm really for somebody and I give my all to them, they're set for that person.
Right.
Women, if you don't cater to them a certain way, they'll find somebody else to, cater to themselves. You know what I mean? They kind of replace people. Just because we need more being catered to. We want somebody to fill our emotional cup, and sometimes men can't do that. So if you can't do that, that's why when you're in a relationship with somebody and then you get into an argument, that person's talking to another guy.
Whoa, that's cold-blooded.
And I'm not trying to know like women are this and that, or no.
But you're speaking of this is actual facts. This is how things go, and I never knew why women did that. So I'm glad you are on the show to.
We can see the comments right now.
Right.
To get spilling all of the secrets.
Right.
Yeah. Throw y'all asses under the bus.
It comes with emotional immaturity and lack of discipline too, because I feel like when you're friends with an ex, like what's the point? Like if we all can't be friends and it's exclusivity, then there's no point of being with an ex.
It's with my baby mama, but that's 30-some years.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing though, like that part, like, okay, so this person, is someone who's, been around the family, you've been around their family. I'm the type of person, I don't care who I've met who through. I probably met you through him, and I met him through someone else. You know what I'm saying? When I forge those relationships, they're real. That person, we can have a falling out, disagreement or whatever.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? That relationship still exists because it's something real with me, and so when you've established that, and reminding you back, I said this earlier, I've known these brothers for 30 years, most of the people in my life has been at least 20, 30 years, or you're through someone I've known that long, that means something to me. And so if you can be accepting of, hey, okay, this is your friend, this is that, but I'm not ready, that's not myself or that person excluding, or their network of individuals excluding you from that, that's you excluding yourself from that. And, that's the issue that I'm having, right now.
Well, let me jump in there.
Mhm.
So I got the same kind of situation as you because even with my baby's mother, she comes to our family functions.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's different when
my
you
girl
have...
got to be able to understand, look, I tell her beforehand, she comes around, my daughter invites her. So, you got to be okay with this because I'm not going to go and tell her,
different.
you can't come to no more family functions. My girl ain't allowing that.
Right.
And then I got to deal with my family. Like, why you tell her that she couldn't come?
Yeah.
That's different.
You have to deal with all
That's
of
because
that.
a child involved.
That's just a child is involved. There takes a level of maturity for that. And the person you're getting with has to understand that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a child and you want to be with somebody and they just want you for themselves, I don't see why you have to be cool with an ex just because of history.
Yeah.
You can still be cordial to their family and stuff, but when it comes to like, okay, I want to be with you, and I see that if being with you is going to make you feel uncomfortable because I'm talking with my ex and we have no kid, we have nothing, then because you're worth it, I have no issues not talking to my ex. I'm not single. It's not like I'm not committed, but because I want to be committed to you, my ex is just an ex. I got to keep them in the past now that I want to be with you because I don't want this person having access to me to disrupt what you and I got going on.
I definitely get that, and I understand. Like, I understood, at the beginning, her uncomfortability with it because, one, she's not used to that, but also she had a male friend who was a friend. They never dealt with each other, but he confessed that he had feelings for her, but he's still a friend. And I can accept that. I've been around exes. I'm confident. That person is your past. I am your now. So I know.
Why is he still around if he's in her past?
Hey,
he's a placemat.
If he's of any importance to you, that's up to you how you treat that person, how you insert them or dispose of them. I'm not putting that.
He can't be coming to the family barbecue.
I have been at...
Look, if that's what he do, but he has to be family.
I'm just saying,
if he's the friend and he comes and the family is like, Dwayne.
Months.
But if he can be friend with you, that's a good thing.
Right, and that's
But if it's exclusive, like, okay, I just talked to her, everything with her.
Yeah, I have been him.
Yeah.
Then it's like she's filling his emotional cup as well.
I have been that guy.
Whatever the case is, my thing still.
I have been that sneaky guy waiting. That nigga fucked up. Yeah.
And you know that exists.
I'm here for you.
You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: you cannot control that, and I feel that any relationship you feel like you have to manipulate for there to be order, it's not going to sustain.
But you got him, though.
But you also got to be ready for the unexpected or the negative consequences with that, too.
And that's the thing. Like, always accept everything on each side, because I came into the relationship like this. This person has been a friend to me before you existed. So to say that, okay, because you're here now, disregard that friend. Now, I can't spend, every day with this person or certain things that would put us in a space where someone on the outside would be like, oh, you guys are dating. I can't have that type of relationship with you. But as someone who's like rooting for you when it's time, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, you got this. I'm there.
I got it. I understand what you're saying, but I had to be the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm.
I do have those women who are always going to open up their hearts to me, even if I'm in a relationship. And when I always have that crutch.
Mm-hmm.
And women have that crutch too. But I'm speaking for myself. I do have those crutches when everything else fell in the current relationship or have rocky times. I'm just being honest.
Right.
I gotta be honest. I do have that boop boop over there who always gonna open the door for me.
Right. I understand that, but that's you've established that's what that is. When you
I play games with them. I gotta be honest.
Also give the person a chance too. Like when you want to like be with somebody, say I have friends, and it's up to you whether you're comfortable with that or not.
Absolutely. And that goes back to just what we've said throughout this whole conversation is whatever it is, how you plan to live your life, be upfront with that at the beginning.
And
give that person an opportunity to say yay or nay. And whether it's you or the person on the opposite side, don't expect that person to be any different from the person that's showing you they are at that day. We all have potential, but we can only be who we are in the moment.
Okay, so we're running short on time. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. So, last topic. We talked about this, but we didn't go deep into depth into it. Are women sneakier than men? And I know we had posed the question before, but Thunder, you had some thoughts on it. What do you think? You sneaky. I already know you.
I am. I am.
Daddy.
He was sitting up there looking and thinking sneaky in his head.
I have my sneaky ways.
Yes, I am not a liar. I'm an upfront guy, so I wouldn't really call it sneaky. If you don't ask, I'm not telling you.
So you omit.
Hey, I'm not gonna volunteer any information.
That's most men ain't volunteering.
Yeah, I mean, that's a man thing.
So when somebody says, "Oh, you lied," technically I didn't lie because I didn't say anything, but you knew the truth, but didn't say it either.
I'm not gonna volunteer anything that incriminate myself.
I mean, but I guess I don't know. Maybe it's the man in me, but like I get it. Like if it's no reason to say, "Hey, this." Why am I saying this right now? It's no reason for that information.
What about if they found out and you knew the whole time and didn't?
I mean,
it's
different. It's like, okay, if you ate all of the pizza and you ate all the pizza and you're hearing them say, "Ooh, I'm gonna warm me up some pizza," yeah, okay, I get that. But if we're not there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're not for the
right. We ain't there.
If the boat's not rocking, why would I say, you know what? I did talk to Kiki 2 days ago.
I think both men and women can equally be sneaky. I feel like just women are better at doing it.
So they sneaky.
That means y'all more sneaky.
Yeah.
No, I feel like you guys don't cover up your tracks. But you guys have the ability to do it as women, though.
But you know what? Because men aren't naturally sneaky. Man, we're just like we're animals.
And then y'all play on
some
our
of you guys are very smart and very calculative.
Even being smart and calculated.
Y'all like, oh, he dumb. He ain't paying no attention. We're gonna pull this one over.
But some of you do. Some of you are smart, like extremely smart, extremely detailed. Or even some women can be like, oh wow, who are like, I didn't even think of it that way.
I see it coming.
You know what I mean? They see it coming the whole time. It took 20 years later just to find out this has happened.
Right.
So I feel like it could be both, like some men, but I just feel like most women, emotionally, they can be more sneaky. But it just depends on what, though. Like, we have better poker faces sometimes,
Yeah.
In my experience, I come to find out the more shit I do, the more interested I become.
What is his name? Derek Jackson? You guys know Derek Jackson, YouTuber?
Yeah. His wife who she's
the
bunny guy.
This whole time, he was who he was talking about towards men.
Right.
So it's like, oh my God.
He was a woman defender. He was like the greatest man in the world.
Right.
And he was fucking
giving
everybody.
relationship advice and things like that. Like, man, this is how you treat your queen. And
he's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
He was a hypocrite. Yeah. And it's like, wow. Like,
he was a man.
he was talking about himself, but obviously he got exposed. But at the same time, it's like we would have never thought he's tapping into our emotions. He's saying the right
y'all
things.
was believing him?
Yes.
At first, I mean, what he says is valid, but doesn't mean he's practicing what he's preaching.
Right.
He doesn't practice what he preaches, even though he's saying the truth.
Now, what if before his shows he put, these opinions? If he gave a disclaimer like, "Hey, man, I ain't really that guy, but there's some good information for y'all." Would it change things?
I mean, why talk about something you don't live? Like, why are you trying to dedicate into
Steve
something
Harvey
that
is rich off of?
He was living off of it. He was getting paid.
Yeah, it was a market.
I mean, it doesn't make you credible at the end of the day. Like, how are you gonna tell me about my life when you're not doing it? You have to set the example for me, or else you're just talking with everybody. You're just making a bunch of noise. I could just read it in the book. Like, it's not setting the example for me.
And so now that hits on what we were talking about earlier before you got on camera. We were talking about, whether women still want to stand in their femininity and still want a man to be there as a provider and a protector.
Of course. I think so. I don't know why women don't want a man in their life. I want my man in my life.
You hear them all the time say they don't need a man.
I feel like you do. I feel like we're human beings. We need each other.
Right.
Whether it's a man or family or friend, we need somebody. We can't do everything by ourselves. As much as you want to force yourself to be strong and push through, you're falling apart.
Right.
Yeah.
You need somebody.
Now, is it different for a woman to need a man or to want a man?
I feel like it depends on who. I mean, if you're an established woman that can provide for herself, yeah, you would want a man.
Right.
Do you need a man? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what's going on in your life. If you need somebody if you're a bully and you're just telling people off, you may need a man to set you straight.
Right.
If you're like doing all the things right and being a nurturer and you got your business, but you're just lonely, maybe you need a man too, or a woman, whatever floats your boat. But you need somebody. Everybody needs somebody.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can't. It's ridiculous when people say, "I don't need a man." You just know you don't want a man.
Right.
You need a man too if you want to be in a relationship. If you don't want to die alone. If you don't want to. If you want to have kids, you need a man. Yeah. If you want a companion, you need a man or a woman. You need somebody.
I mean, you get a cat or a dog, right?
Yeah.
And then it passes away, and then what?
That word.
You get another one,
That word need. I think
so
that's
they're gonna be like the cat ladies that just collect cats and live by themselves, and their health is falling apart, and all these things. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody needs somebody.
Nah, I agree. I do agree with that.
So on that note, we're gonna end it. Miles, you got some final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts is definitely this, man. We need one another. We can no longer place the blame, point the finger, and say it's your fault. It's our fault. And understanding that, okay, there's a problem, that means there's a solution. And if we work together as a team, whatever team may look like for you or him or the next man, it doesn't matter. We're working together to figure out a solution. So let's all stick together in love, faith, and figure this thing out.
Minister Thunder?
Well, live life to the fullest, shake your ass, and you know what? We all gotta leave here. So be the best you.
There we go.
Be the best you.
Okay, so what you got for us?
The same. Be the best you, and tomorrow's not promised. Don't take life for granted, and love who loves on you.
There we go.
And be kind. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what, going on in their day or what they've been through. So always be kind no matter what. Even if somebody's having a shitty day, that's a reflection of them and not you. They're going through something.
Right.
So I'm not saying always be the bigger person, but choose to not stoop down to their level. They may be hurting, they may be doing something, so just remain kind and, tell yourself it's not about you.
There we go.
Miles, take us on out of here.
Yeah, so again, as always, this is a product for the people, by the people, where dreams go further than bullets. Till next time, we out. Peace.
Luxury Productions.